Fellow Kenyans, today we lodged a petition before a very competent judge, and we have a lot of confidence in the judiciary. We are opposing the proposed sale of Safaricom shares, which is 15% of the government holding of Safaricom. And we are citing constitutional, economic, and national interest concerns. So we have the following key concerns we are raising. One is loss of public revenue. The sale would permanently deprive Kenyans of future dividends, income from this country, which is the most profitable company, very strategic asset of Kenya, worth of 150 billion shillings per year that Kenya can earn, and we are doing a one-off sale of 204 billion shillings. It does not make sense. The second one is constitutional violations. This transaction raises serious questions under Article 206 of the Constitution, particularly on the management of public funds and the creation of special purpose funds without parliamentary approval. In fact, the CS for Treasury has said he will be the single signatory to that fund, one person. What the CS doesn't know is that after he has been the signatory, he will be removed and the appropriate person put to be able to transact as the president wishes. The third one is national interest. Reducing government ownership undermines public control over critical telecommunications and digital infrastructure provider. Number 4 is market dominance and foreign control. The transaction risks consolidating market power in the hands of foreign control monopoly, which is going to risk Kenya. Number 5 is lack of transparency. The process has not been subjected to adequate public participation, parliamentary scrutiny, or disclosure of key transaction details. Why does this thing matter to Kenyans? Fellow Kenyans, Safaricom is not just a telco company. It's the backbone of Kenya's digital economy, mobile system, and critical national infrastructure. Decisions affecting its ownership have long-term implications for revenue, sovereignty, and economic scrutiny. What are our demands before the judge? 1, immediate suspension of proposed sale. 2, full disclosure of all transaction documents, who are the advisors, who are the beneficiaries, because we have been told that KCB has been single-handedly been handed to become the transaction advisor without competitive bidding. The third demand is parliamentary approval and public participation as required by law. And the fourth one is protection of public assets and future generations' interest. The bottom line is this. The petition argues that short-term fiscal pressure cannot justify irreversible surrender of a strategic national asset without strict constitutional compliance and public accountability. That means the president simply wants to create a fund that can be used, he can access directly and easily, but he does not care about national interest. Ni kama prezo anatengenezea yeye friji yake, anawekea chakula. He'll be picking it on the fridge the way he wants. And that we can't allow him. So, what is our core message for this petition? This petition is about protecting strategic national assets. Safaricom is not just a company, it's Kenya's digital backbone. Selling government's 15 stake sacrifices long-term public revenue for short-term fiscal relief without proper constitutional process or public accountability. We have to know Safaricom transmits 92% of national election results So it even has sovereignty risk because we can end up with vifaranga via computer manipulated by foreign bodies. The second concern is constitutional concern. The proposed sale raises serious constitutional concerns, particularly under Article 206 on public funds. You cannot dispose of a public asset, create special funds, and bypass parliament and public participation. That is exactly why we have filed this petition. Economic impact. This deal permanently denies Kenyans future dividends of 150 billion annually for the sale of 204 billion from one of the most profitable companies in Africa. Once these shares are gone, they are gone forever. The future generation will pay the price of this loss. National interest. Safaricom underpins mobile money, digital trade, and national communications. Reducing government ownership weakens public oversights and hands greater control to foreign interests. That is not Kenya's national interest. The last one is transparency and process. There has been no full disclosure, no proper parliamentary scrutiny, and no meaningful public participation. Even to tell us what are the liabilities Safaricom has. Kenyans deserve transparency before any decision touching a strategic asset is made. In summary, this is not an anti-investment position. It is a pro-constitution, a pro-transparency, and a pro-Kenya position. Public assets must be protected, not quietly sold under fiscal pressure. This statement issued by Fred Ogola, LDP presidential aspirant, 2027. God bless you and God bless Kenya.
You have alleged that the CS treasury will be removed shortly after signing and the sole signature. How certain is that?
I'm saying, he says that he will be the single signatory to the fund. And I'm saying he's not aware that that is not a guarantee, because he can be the single signatory, then the person who wants the money can remove him because the appointing authority is the president. So he's being used to create the fund. Once the fund has been created, thief will be put there so that it can be accessed at will. That's my point. I don't know when he will be appointed. I don't know when he will not be appointed. That is none of my business. I just know that we cannot trust one individual with a strategic asset. Will you? Not even at home, you can trust your wife alone with something. When you go to the bank, your wife and you go together. Here, it is one person going. It's impossible. This is clear theft and violation of Kenyan rights. The matter is for Justice Bahati. Justice Bahati will give directions today. We have a lot of faith in Justice Bahati because he's a very progressive judge. Remember, he's the one who stopped Adani. And this case is bigger than Adani. Adani was just airport. Safaricom controls airport. It controls even the port. It controls all our households. It controls all the businesses you do. So selling Safaricom is bigger than Adani thing. Kenyans are taking it lightly. For me, this is more serious than Adani. And I'm calling upon Kenyans, please go behind this petition. It is not just about Safaricom shareholders. It is about you. These shares can be sold to Safaricom, people who manage Safaricom. These shares can be sold to the people who have built Safaricom with sweat and blood. Those are the agents of M-Pesa. They're the ones who built this business. Safaricom has never built M-Pesa shops. If you go here to Mkuru kwa Njenga, you go to Kibra, you go to Kenyatta Market, you go to Mkuru kwa Ruben, hata uende mpaka Kisumu, uende Kisumu dogo in Malindi. It is Safaricom agents that have built this business. How can they build that such a business and give it to UK? UK colonized us. That's enough. We cannot be colonized again. Your M-Pesa data, your financial data, your bio data, your health data, even your dating data is there. Americans, when they take over, they can even tell you who is your mpango wa kando. No, we can't allow it. We must protect people's data and rights. That's why we are here.